They say beauty can be a blessing, but sometimes it can also be a curse. In a small town, somewhere between the noisy streets of Port Harcourt and the quiet, dusty roads of a forgotten village, there was a girl. Her name was Edie Diong, though everyone called her Edie. Edie was beautiful, not just in the casual way people say, "That girl is fine." No, her beauty was the kind that stopped conversations. Even women turned twice just to admire her. Her skin was smooth and dark like roasted groundnut. Her eyes shone bright like stars on a harmattan night. And when she smiled, it was as if light itself had entered the room. But beauty attracts many things: admiration, jealousy, and danger. Edie was a typical Gen Z girl, always on Instagram, Snapchat, TikTok. Her life looked perfect online. She was full of life, full of dreams. She wanted to be a model, a big fashion influencer. She believed she would travel the world, wear designers, eat in fancy restaurants, and maybe, just maybe, meet a man who would sweep her off her feet and give her the soft life she always posted about. Her mother often warned her, "Edie, be careful. All that glitters is not gold." But Edie would laugh. "Mama, leave that talk. We only live once. If I don't shine now, when will I shine?" At just 21, like many young girls in the city, she loved enjoyment. She loved the nightlife, the bright lights, the music, the attention. But life has a way of twisting when you least expect it. It started small. She met two girls at a popular lounge, girls who always wore expensive wigs, carried designer bags, and never seemed to lack money. Their names were Blessing and Tracy. At first, Edie admired them. She wondered how they always looked so good. Later, she discovered the truth. They were into hookup. "It's just small runs," Blessing told her one night as they drank Smirnoff Ice under the neon lights. "One night with the right man can pay your rent for 6 months. Why are you suffering? You're beautiful. Men will pay millions for you." Edie hesitated. She wasn't that kind of girl, or at least she thought she wasn't. But slowly, curiosity grew. Tracy laughed at her innocence. "Babe, don't dull yourself. Men will use you for free anyway. At least collect their money back. We're chasing soft life." Those words stuck with Edie, and so, step by step, her journey began. At first, it felt exciting. The money came quickly. Men took her to expensive hotels, bought her wigs, gave her cash she had never seen before. For the first time, Edie felt like she was in control. She became addicted to the lifestyle, the parties, the late nights, the laughter, the Instagram photos that made her followers envy her. She was the star girl. But every sweet wine has its bitter aftertaste. One Friday night, her friends told her about a man, a wealthy Alhaji, who had just come into town. "This man sprays money anyhow," Blessing whispered. "He likes fine young girls. If you go with him tonight, your life could change forever." Edie's heart raced. She had heard stories of men like this, but greed and her desire for a soft life clouded her mind. She wanted more than her friends, more than what she was already getting. That night, she dressed in her finest outfit, a short red gown that hugged her curves, golden heels that glittered under the lights, and a long wig that made her look like a queen. When Alhaji walked in, the room shifted. He wasn't young. His beard was gray, his agaba spotless white, and his perfume filled the air like power itself. People cleared the way for him. Edie caught his eye. He smiled. That smile sealed her fate. Alhaji was charming. He promised her the world. "You are too beautiful to be suffering," he told her with authority in his deep voice. "Stay with me and I will change your life." Edie believed him. That night, she followed him to his suite. So big, so luxurious, it felt like another world. But not all the glitters is gold. What happened in that suite, nobody knows for sure. But when Edie came out, she was no longer the same. Some said Al-Haji used juju, that he took her destiny, her star, her light. Others said he sacrificed her innocence to keep his wealth. Whatever the truth, Edie's life turned upside down. It started slowly. She began hearing voices. At first, she thought it was stress, but the voices grew louder. They laughed at her, mocked her. Her friends noticed. "Babe, are you okay?" Tracy asked one evening as they dressed up for a night out. But Edie just stared at the mirror, whispering to herself. Soon, she stopped looking like herself. Her glowing skin turned pale. Her eyes lost their sparkle. She roamed the streets, barefoot, talking to herself, chasing shadows. Her friends abandoned her. Nobody wanted to be seen with the mad woman who used to be a star. Her mother wept. "What happened to my daughter? Who did this to her?" But nobody had answers. Edie, the beautiful baddie, the dreamer, the soft life chaser, had become a mad woman. Yet even in madness, her beauty did not fade. She roamed the streets, her gown torn, her hair scattered, but her face still drew attention. Some stared in pity, others whispered, "What a waste." But one man, one wicked man, saw an opportunity. It happened one night. The streets were dark, only the moon watching. Edie wandered near an abandoned building, humming to herself, lost in confusion. That's when he came, a man with no conscience. He looked at her beauty and helplessness. Instead of pity, desire filled his eyes. He lured her with food and soft words she could not even understand. When she followed him, he took advantage of her. She could not fight. She could not scream. Her mind was too broken to resist. And so, the mad woman became pregnant. 9 months passed, like a shadow, long, hard, and painful. The town had gotten used to her, the beautiful mad woman with a swollen belly. Every morning, children mocked her, singing songs, throwing stones, laughing. Traders gave her scraps of food, while others chased her away. She walked on, barefoot, her gown torn, her hair scattered, humming songs nobody understood. She was like a ghost, living, breathing, but not truly alive. One cold, rainy evening, the mad woman began to scream. At first, people ignored her, thinking she was shouting at the voices in her head. But the screams grew louder, raw and painful. By the time curious passers-by came closer, they saw her on the ground, clutching her stomach, rolling in the dirt. Her blood stained her thighs. Her body shook in agony. "She's in labor," someone shouted. But who would help a mad woman giving birth in the dirt? Some ran to call the midwife. By the time help came, it was too late. There, under the mango tree, the mad woman pushed. Her eyes rolled back, her lips trembled, her body weak, but she fought. Her cries echoed through the night. And then, with one final scream, a tiny cry filled the air. A baby. She lay still. Her breathing slowed. Tears slid down her dirty cheeks as she looked at her daughter, her eyes filled with love, pain, and sadness. For a brief moment, clarity returned, and then silence. The mad woman, once the star girl, once the beauty of the town, took her last breath. Her body grew cold. Her child cried on in her lifeless arms. By morning, the news spread. The mad woman is dead, but she gave birth before she died. It's a girl. Who will care for the child of a mad woman? The market women shook their heads in pity. The children who once mocked her were silent. Men who once desired her beauty pretended not to know her. Life moved on, but the baby remained. The midwife, Mama Ibie, carried the child from her mother's arms. She wrapped her in cloth, wiped her clean, and held her close. The baby was beautiful, like her mother. Her cries carried something heavy, almost as if her mother's pain had been passed into her tiny soul.
This one will suffer, Mama Ibie sighed. She carries her mother's pain. After the burial, an unmarked grave at the edge of town, people debated the child's fate. She cannot stay with us, some said. Who will feed her? Who will care for her? She is the daughter of a mad woman. What good can come from her? Finally, they carried the baby to a small orphanage on the outskirts of town. The orphanage was no palace, just cracked walls and rusty windows. But it was shelter. At least, it was food. Madame Rebecca, the matron, frowned. Where did this baby come from? She asked. She is the daughter of the mad woman that died last night, Mama Ibie explained. Madame Rebecca looked suspicious, then shrugged. Well, it's not her fault. We will keep her. Nobody knew what to call her. Her mother had died without giving her a name, but Mama Ibie spoke. Her mother's name was Edidiong. Let us call her Edima. My wealth. Maybe this child will break the curse of her mother's pain. And so she became Edima, the daughter of a mad woman, now with a name that carried hope. Edima grew quickly. She was quiet, more observant than other children. While others played, she sat alone, staring into space. The other children teased her. Mad girl, they shouted. Madame Rebecca was harsh. I know you are a mad woman's daughter, she hissed whenever Edima made mistakes. But still, Edima survived. As Edima grew older, strange things happened. At night, she cried in her sleep, shouting words nobody understood. Sometimes she laughed in her dreams, a sound that frightened others. She carries her mother's spirit, the matron said. But Mama Ibie defended her. She is just a child. Her future is still open. Years later, a couple came to the orphanage. Their names were Mr. and Mrs. Okoro. Wealthy, but childless, they longed for a child. Madame Rebecca showed them many children, but none touched their hearts until they saw Edima. She was sitting under a tree, her arms wrapped around her knees, her eyes lost in thought. Mrs. Okoro's heart ached. She whispered, "That one." The couple approached. Edima looked up at them. For the first time in weeks, she smiled. It was small, weak, but enough. Mrs. Okoro's eyes filled with tears. She knelt, hugged the child, and whispered, "You are ours now." The papers were signed, arrangements made. Edima left the orphanage for a new home. The Okoros loved her as their own. They believed they had found their miracle. But what they did not know was this: Edima was no ordinary child. She was the daughter of the mad woman.
Watch out for part 2 of The Mad Woman's Daughter. Please like and subscribe for more interesting stories.